Moving over to the effects section now. So Alchemy's got a load of built-in effects that you can use to kind of finish your sound off when you're happy with your settings on the synthesizer itself. Maybe you want to add some kind of subtle effects or even some cases some extreme effects without relying on Logic's own audio effects. So to get these up, you can go to Effects just underneath the arpeggiator, and it brings up this. What we've got here then is different slots to put an effect in. If I load where it says none, and for instance pick a delay, I can toggle it on and off, and when you choose one effect, it opens up a blank slot underneath. So you can have multiple effects on the same channel. It will just keep adding for as far as you go. Turn them off, we pick none, it will delete the slot below. So we've got a delay, for instance, which adds a nice kind of echo effect to the sound. You have controls for your kind of speed, very similar to any other stereo delay, or Logic's own stereo delay. Rate, offsets, you can delay the delayed signal, feedback for the number of repeats. You can sync it to your project's tempo or have everything done in seconds instead. Sync will put it into quarters, sixteenths, etc. You have a filter, so you can filter off your delays. So it's quite nice to put a low pass filter to kind of remove some of the highs off the delay signal. So it comes out a little kind of, you get those sort of W effects. And then you have settings for pan, so you can pan the feedback signal with the crossover and the initial delay with the initial pan. So all left or all right, if we had the right one. There it is. Or we can have it spot in the middle to have a mix of both. So you play around the positioning. Delay's really nice to kind of just add to some lead sounds, and if you look through a lot of the presets that are kind of on Alchemy itself, especially like the lead ones, that often have a like reverb and a delay, just give a bit of space to the sound. Some of the other ones to quickly look at, so we have various distortions, bass enhancer. The distortion one itself is quite nice because you have different modes of distortion. So you've got a bit crush to really kind of break the sound, and mechanical distortion. It's quite edgy. Tube, which is a more warm, kind of classic valve. And excite will just emphasize the high frequencies. You know, sort of fizzy sounds. And these all interact together. So you up one, have a bit of body from the tube, and then crush it with a bit crusher. One thing you will find is when you start adding multiple distortions, you get quite a lot of volume boost, so you can choose the post gain to trim it down. You also get a couple of compressors, filters, so you get yet another multi-mode filter with the same options as your main filter. Modulation, so mod effects can be used for chorus effects, and phaser for phasing effects. And the reverbs are especially nice. I really like the acoustic reverb, which gives a nice spacious sound. You have a lot of controls in this to make the reverb longer. Add some pre-delay, change the size of the room. You can EQ the reverb itself, which is nice. Saves a bit of CPU doing it here rather than have a separate, say, space designer or chrome verb and then an EQ as well. And then you can control the mix as well. So you can get a really long kind of spacious reverb with this by turning everything up. Or we can dial it back for a more subtle effect. Also a number of presets on all of the effects. Just go to File, Preset. You'll have various options. And various different effects will have different preset settings as well. So for instance, Some of the more simpler ones just have a couple of dials and won't come with presets, where some of the more kind of ambitious effects like your delays and reverbs will have a whole bunch of ones to pick from. And if you create your own sounds, you can just go to File, Save, and it will save a preset setting. So for instance, we tweak some of this. I could go Save. And I could give it a name, and then next time I load up my plugin, I will have my delay setting here. Let me clear it to go back to the start. The other cool thing you do with the effects is you can have them on certain oscillators. So if I go to A, that is effects column A, and let's just set up a distortion on this one, or a delay, just so we hear it nice and clear. And to access that, it's not necessarily tied to source A, B, and C, as it would be with, say, routing this to like different filters or to the different options on the voicing. So what you can do instead is click on your filter option here, and it will say effects A. So it'll only send to effects A. So at the moment, we've got it all on the left. If we bring a bit of that in, hear more of the delay, go all the way to the right, and you've got 100% send. Quite similar to setting up a send on Logic's channels themselves. Cool thing about this, you could then have your second oscillator go into effects B, and on B you could have a different effect like a reverb. So I've got a delay on A, a reverb on B, and nothing on C. You can also, if you're feeling brave, hit randomize, and we just do that on our main setting. And it will just adjust each of the parameters on the plugin. So put a couple of ones on, hit randomize, and it will just move everything around in a random pattern. Or we can use some of the set preset chains. It will give you a list of effects that they suggest you try. So between the oscillators, filters, envelopes, arpeggios and effects, there's loads you can do with Alchemy.